What I realize, and this still drives me today, is that most people are called to more, but they lack the clarity or the confidence and the champion in their corner. And that's what pulled me into career coaching. So, not just helping people get a new job, but helping them pivot their lives toward their true calling.
Welcome to Career Coaching Secrets, the podcast where we talk with successful career coaches on how they built their success and the hard lessons they learned along the way. My name is Davis Nguyen, and I'm the founder of Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to 7 and 8 figures without burning out. Before Purple Circle, I started and scaled several 7 and 8 figure career coaching businesses myself and consulted with 2 career coaching businesses that are now doing over $100 million each. Whether you're an established coach or just building your practice for the first time, you'll discover the secrets to elevating your coaching business.
Hey everyone, welcome again to another episode of Career Coaching Secrets podcast. I'm your host, Regin, and today's guest is Neil Schultz. She's an executive coach and founder of Career Upgrader with a background at Amazon, Toyota, and even US Air Force. Neil has helped hundreds of senior leaders land roles that are above $150,000 a year using his proven raise the roof job search framework. From crafting standout executive resumes to mastering interviews and negotiation, Neil empowers professionals to get clear, get noticed, and get hired. So I'm excited to have you on the podcast, Neil. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure. Neil, tell me a little bit more about what inspired you to become a career coach.
Yeah, honestly, career coaching wasn't part of the original plan. I was a pastor first, and what pastors do is walk with people through transitions. So after leaving full-time ministry, I stumbled into talent acquisition and executive recruiting and helping people navigate massive career decisions. And what I realized, and this still drives me today, is that most people are called to more, but they lack the clarity or the confidence and the champion in their corner. And that's what pulled me into career coaching. So, not just helping people get a new job, but helping them pivot their lives toward their true calling. And that heart is woven into everything I do, including our Raise the Roof program and our books like Pivot or You Don't GET Unless You ASK or Interview Mastery.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that most of the clients go through pivots as opposed to just getting a job?
Some do. And so that's where we've had folks that anecdotally would come to us looking for a senior vice president role at a credit union, for example, or they're involved in the FP&A space. And so, but come to find out through coaching, their life goals really aren't getting their next executive job. It's about selling a patent that they had and then go travel the world, leaving their job search behind, setting up some passive income investments through the course of working together. I've helped people move into businesses and, end their need for a job. But then others I've helped sell their patents or structure a situation where maybe they go into a fractional part-time situation with their employment while they work on another business. So everyone's different in their journey.
And since we're talking about the journey, tell me a little bit more about like once you started your coaching business like 15 years ago, how does it look like? How does that journey look like from 15 years ago to today?
Well, when I first started, I was a chaplain in the Air National Guard. When I had an individual reach out to me looking for help with helping them get out of the military, they needed a resume. And admittedly, I didn't know how to write a resume at the time, in one that would be effective towards a person actually helping them get a job. But I took a stab at it with them and for them. And within a few weeks, they came back to me saying, "Look, I got the job." you probably should charge people for this. And I thought to myself, ding, 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 ding. Hello. When I first started, it was just one client at a time. It was resumes or interview preparation, or the basics. But as I grew, I saw bigger patterns. So mindset shifts that separated thriving executives from stuck ones. I started building frameworks. So Pivot was born. That's a book that my wife and I wrote to help clients handle that career change. And interview mastery came from helping leaders win really high stakes interviews. And then my book that's about to come out next week, it's called You Don't GET Unless You ASK. That came from seeing how poorly even senior executives negotiated for themselves. So today, our Raise the Roof program is the culmination of all of that. So it's a full career acceleration system from clarity to positioning to landing and thriving. It's designed especially for leaders who don't want to waste the next 5 to 10 years of their life stuck. So we now helped hundreds of executives break through ceilings they thought were permanent, and I'm grateful for that.
Well, and is it so when it comes to the audience that you're serving right now, is it only executives? Is there a specific industry of executives, or is it broad?
Thanks for asking. I work with senior managers, directors, and executives, so vice presidents, senior vice presidents, C-suite, especially in tech, operations, and sales, who those people who feel stuck and underpaid or even invisible in the market. And so the transformation I deliver is simple, but it's life changing. And it does come down to my framework: get clear, get ready, get noticed, get hired, get paid, and thrive. So I help them go from feeling lost and overlooked to landing those premium executive roles, often with 20 to 50% salary increases, and doing work that's actually aligned with their skills and their sense of calling.
Hmm. And where would you say is the main way you connect with these potential clients? What marketing channel do you generally utilize?
Yeah, LinkedIn is home base for me, but I don't rely on cold spamming or ads. Our best leads come through two ways: content driven attraction, so that story based posts, or there's a phrase that I'm new to, but it's a value bomb, a free resource, um, you know, bits and pieces, excerpts from my book, direct DM conversations once interest is warm. And it's a pastoral NEPQ approach: listen first, understand, and then invite. So I believe we should earn the right to sell by serving first. But LinkedIn is primary where I find my leads.
Hmm. Interesting. You use value bomb. We actually use the same term within our community as well. So we might even potentially be in similar communities that use that same phrase. Um, and when it comes to these value bombs or the content that you're sharing so much value, is there um, a specific content strategy, or it like potentially it's anything similar to like how your package is built, but you're like giving value first?
A lot of that depends on where the team comes up with and agrees upon, all right, we need to give this content away. And that is genuinely helpful, but it's just a little taste. I want them to have a quick win, anyone who encounters our content, and then be able to see the value in that and go, is there more? Absolutely, there's more. So, want to make sure that everything is targeted towards the end goal of actually helping someone find their next job.
Hmm. Thanks for sharing that. And do you have any goals right now that you're working towards with your coaching business for the next 1 to 3 years? let's say?
Personally, I'm building two things. Now, there's always financial goals that we have, but ultimately, one is I want to expand our Raise the Roof into a broader executive career accelerator platform to include that group coaching and digital courses and strategic partnerships. So there's always that sense of refining what I have already out there. The second is to grow our publishing arm and make books like You Don't GT Unless You ASK a go-to resource in executive career development. So our deeper goal is simple. We do want to help more executives land premium roles and pivot toward thriving, not just surviving, without compromising their faith or their family or their freedom.
And when it comes to your like offer right now, um, is it both group coaching and one-on-one coaching, or right now is just one-on-one coaching? You want to add the group coaching in it?
We have group coaching, and then when it comes to the interview preparation, interview coaching, that's one on one. But we also offer a VIP service for those. It's a very limited every month. I offer 3 VIP one-on-one coaching, so there is no group for them, and I'm a little more available to them as needed. And of course, that's at a premium, but that's what we offer.
Hmm. Thank you. I also wanted to ask you, and for any coach who's going to be watching this, any other coach, and when it comes to investments, have you been part of any coaching program, any masterminds, or any communities that you've found that have been very valuable in you growing your coaching business?
Yeah, I've invested heavily because you can't shortcut wisdom. So some of the big influences have been Alex Hormozzi's acquisition.com frameworks on offers and scaling. The second is NEPQ sales training, which shifted my entire approach to client conversations. Of course, Russell Brunson's Funnel Hacking Live and Expert Secrets, all of his content, plus a few private coaching programs for LinkedIn content systems and client experience design. So, I believe if you're not investing in yourself, you're literally capping that transformation that you can offer others.
Hmm. And yeah, I mean, the names you just mentioned have been broadly known, especially recently in the marketing world. And it's nice to see that also is in the coaching industry. Is there something that throughout these 15 years, and essentially more than that, throughout these 15 years, is there something you wish you had known first when you started scaling your coaching business, like an unexpected lesson learned?
Yes, and I knew this lesson before I started coaching, so as a pastor, but it didn't necessarily translate right away until I received a lot of hard knocks. And that is, you can't save people who won't pick up the tools that you hand them. So early on, I burnt out trying to carry people across the finish line. And today I've designed Raise the Roof differently. So I hand clients the tools, I hand them the coaching and the pathway, but they must walk it. And so empowerment always beats enabling. And it's both a leadership lesson and a pastoral one. Whereas, and I'm just going to say it again, empowerment always beats enabling. I was an enabler, a lot of that being an empath. And so I recognized that I would take on someone else's pain as if I were the cause of it, and I'm not. So coach then needs to empower, lighten the way, the pathway to their transformation. But I'm not responsible for actually being that transformation for them.
And just out of curiosity, because I have very little information on how this works. You mentioned you've been a pastor. Does that mean like that part of the career or that part of your journey has stopped, or you're still doing that?
I do that differently now. So I do that as a volunteer, not as a paid professional clergy anymore. That doesn't mean I won't go back to it someday. And that doesn't mean that I'm not engaged in those activities. I just don't do it for the money anymore.
Hmm. Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
I I wanted to ask you also, this is the final question. What advice would you give to other career coaches who are looking to scale their impact?
Two pieces of advice. And this is just right off the top of my head. I mean, get painfully clear on your offer and on your audience. If you can't describe in one sentence who you help and what transformation you create, you really don't have an offer. You've got a wish. The second piece of advice is play the long game. Pivot, interview mastery, you don't GET unless you ASK. All of those tools were built not for a sprint, but to plant seeds that could serve thousands. And if you're faithful in planting, you'll never lack for a harvest.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Neil. It's been a pleasure having you on the podcast. And for anyone who wants to connect with you, they can find you on your LinkedIn at Neil Schultz. They could also find you on your website, careerupgrader.net, where they'll find everything else in the website, right? Thank you so much, Neil. It's been a pleasure having you on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Thank you so much. All right. Take care.
That's it for this episode of Career Coaching Secrets. If you enjoyed this conversation, you can subscribe to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening to this episode to catch future episodes. This conversation was brought to you by Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to 7 and 8 figures without burning out. To learn more about Purple Circle, our community, and how we can help you grow your business, visit joinpurplecircle.com.